Okay, for the second day we learned how to use the blog, and we used a tool called Blogger. It's from Google, another Google application. So to start with, what you want to do is if you log into your Google account, the one that you created, the anonymous account that you created yesterday, the first day, and then go up into this little section up here. It's called the overflow icon. And many pages have this overflow icon. There's one for Google applications. There's another one up here for the Chrome browser. So each one of these has a drop-down menu for different things. But we're going to go find Blogger. So if you look into this, all of your Google applications are going to be here. If Blogger doesn't show up on the top one, you have to go down into the More. But Blogger should be one of the things that pops up early, including Gmail, Calendar, Maps, all of these things that we're going to be using in this class. Most of them will be found in this space here. So we want to go to Blogger. So when you first go to Blogger, when you have a new account, you're going to have to register your account. So they're going to ask you certain things, but you're going to give them, I'm going to just create a new blog here too. You can see that I use lots of blogs. So mine was going to look a little bit different when you first get started, but eventually you should come to a page that looks like this. So you'll have to say you want your Blogger account to be, and use the first part of your username, whatever you used as your, that anonymous part of the first part of the Gmail address. Use it for your title, and also use it for the same thing then for your address. Now the address is going to be, this is going to be the online address, the URL, that's going to be the link that lets your blog be found online. And if it doesn't like what you've entered, it's going to say this blog address is invalid or not supported. I suspect they don't like something, they don't like this symbol, I would guess. I'm going to try and take that out of there, see if that makes them happier. Yeah, so they don't mind that. So okay, and then this is the template that I'm going to use, how I want the appearance, and this is all going to be changeable. I usually start with a very simple template, and then from there you just go to create blog. Once you've created your blog, it's going to open up to this space. So they want to sell you a domain name. No, you don't want it. Just say no thanks. Okay, then this is what's called the dashboard of your blog. This is where the main administration, all the controls are going to be, and it's going to be where the posts appear. So we're going to create posts and pages. So two different things on a blog. The posts are the daily entries, and these are the things that are in reverse chronological order. So the oldest ones are at the bottom. The newest entries are always on the top of the blog. So, and you'll see what we see when I get to. All of these are the controls that you can do. We did a quick survey of them, and I'll keep drilling down into them each day as we go through them. But layout, this is the way the theme that you've chosen is organized. Theme, this is if you want to change the theme, and you can customize things in a very detailed way. There's lots of customizations you can do. But if you click on this, you'll see you can go and change the themes. You can change the background, change the colors, or all sorts of different things. Adjust width is an important one. So sometimes you want to make your blog, the space on your blog change. This is where you'll be able to change it. And then on the sidebars, the parts on the side here are called the sidebars. You can adjust the widths of those too. You can change the layout. So if you don't want these sidebars or footers or headers, you can change them and choose a simpler design. So here's the most simple basic design, so you have some choice about that. And then in advanced, you can change all the different colors and the appearance of this. We went through in detail, and I suggest you just experiment and try different things too. So for example, here's the title page, blog title, that's this. You can see it's highlighted with this little red thing. It's telling you what's going to change. So if I change that to impact, it changes it, or Times New Roman, changes it. So, and then I can change the colors or the size of this too. I could change it, go to much bigger size. So lots of different choices that you have once you've made the changes you want, say apply to blog, and then go back to Blogger. So we'll do lots of different customizations of this blog too as we go along, and you can work out what you like about it too. Nice thing about Blogger is it has one version for regular desktop viewing, but also has a mobile version. So if you want to view this blog on a mobile phone, for example, it needs to be configured slightly different. So that's Google does that automatically for you. Now settings, we didn't review too much on settings yet, but we'll get into that later. So posts. First thing we did was create a new post. So most of the actions that are available on Blogger are on orange buttons. So I'll say new post, and what I get is a text editor. There's two different types of text editors here. One is this Compose, which is what we call what you see is what you get. What you see is what you get, WYSIWYG. And the other one is an HTML editor. So this one, when we switch to HTML, it changes it slightly. It puts the code in here. So most of the time when we're writing things, we'll put it in here as the HTML editor. We'll be publishing things in the HTML editor or in the WYSIWYG editor or the Compose menu. But sometimes when we want to add or change code, we'll use the HTML editor. So that we'll get into that in much more detail as we go along. But here's the other changes that you can make. You can change the fonts. You can change the text size. You can put all of the regular things that you can do in any text editor: bold, italics, underline, strike through, all these different things. Change the color of the text. Add links. So this is one of the things that we did here too. So I want to add a link, so I'm going to highlight that. Actually, I'm going to go find something else that I want to link. So I'm going to search for WYSIWYG. So here's a web page that talks about WYSIWYG. An explanation of what is WYSIWYG. So I'll just use the Wikipedia, the link to the Wikipedia page. So I'm going to grab this now. Just grab the URL for this, and the URL is the Uniform Resource Locator. That's what this thing is called. So now I'm going to create a link. So this word is going to be the anchor for this link. Now when I click link, it's going to say yes, text to display is this, and when I hit that link, where does it go? It's going to go to this link for Wikipedia. If I say open this link in a new window, it'll open up another whole tab along the top here. So I'll say OK, and then I'm just going to keep adding text in here. I could add images, and it's kind of cool because I can get things from either from my phone or from this blog or other things, or from a URL. We can search for, if I have the URL for an image on here, I can add it on here. So go from the Google Album Archive. I don't know. These are all different blogs that I've created. Here's a picture of my new guitar. Let me put it in here. Add selected. Okay, so now I'm going to publish. So what we can do with each post. And I'm going to make sure I create a title for each post. And for this class, we want to have day 1, day 2, day 3. There's 15 classes. I want to have a blog entry for every day. So then I could save this, which puts it in as a draft, or preview it, or close it. But I'm going to publish it. So that's going to make it so that it's available from my blog on the internet. So then if I go to view blog, this is what my blog looks like. And so once you've got this created, I want you to send me this address. Send that to me in a Gmail message. And it doesn't matter if it's you don't have to have much detail on there. Just send me a message and include that URL in your message, so that I can start tracking the changes on your blog. And I'll give you feedback on your blog all the time too. things slowing down here. Anyway, send me the link to your blog in an email address, in an email message. So now I've got this blog post. Right now it's got not much in there. It's got a picture, it's got two sort of words here. This word is now an actual link to another website, an explanation of what WYSIWYG is, according to Wikipedia. So next thing we're going to do, we're going to make another blog post. So I have to be careful. I don't want to make a new blog every time. That's going to be one of the things that some people get confused on. You don't want to make a new blog. You want to make a new post on this existing blog. So now this, of course, will be day 2. And whatever you want to put in here, some generalized text. And this is where you're going to write your notes for the day. And your reflection. And I want you to go back through your notes and then think about what you did. This is what we call metacognition, thinking about thinking. The reflection part of this is important to anchor your learning, because that's what makes learning effective, is when you reflect on what you've learned. That's what makes it stick. That's what helps you put things together. All right, so then publish this. And now you see in your dashboard, you've got 2 posts. If you want to change anything, of course, you can go into and just hover over it, and you see you have the choice of viewing it, editing, or deleting it. We're going to go into edit, and I'm just going to add, adding a little bit more. And then now, instead of publish, it says update, because I already published it, so I can update it. And now go back and view my blog again. And you see the changes that I made to this day 1 post. So now this is what my blog looks like. It looks like it's got 2 posts, day 1, day 2. Not much information in any one of them, but I can add more things to them. I can add comments, and this is where I'll give feedback for the class. So here's where I'll give feedback or answer questions. So if you've got questions, type them into your daily reflection while you're thinking about it. If on reflection you thought, well, what did he actually mean by this? Publish it in your blog post, and I'll try and answer. And I'll try and read. For sure, I'll read each one of the blog entries every day, and I'll try and give some feedback, at least on a regular basis. So the other things that we looked at, some of the other features of this, we'll keep going to them on a daily basis here, but for the time being, that's the main thing. The posts that we found here, the function and the layout of this dashboard, and the blogger account, moving back and forth between the web-based version, the online version, the version that other people would see if you were sending it to them. And make sure you send me this address and not this address, because this is to your dashboard. I need the address to your actual blog. And we'll keep going into this, as I said, adding as we go along. So that's all that I want to, that's mostly what we covered today. We took a fair bit of time and let people explore and experiment a little bit with things and create different blog posts. I'm expecting to have about 250 words, or the equivalent, like 1 page worth of material. And I'm going to show people how to, there's other tools that are available to us that can do word counts to figure out how many words are actually published on this. So that's where we got to today.